So, hey, everybody, this is Principal Anderson from Michelle Clark with another episode of the POV, point of view, from elementary to high school. And today we are so honored to have my little sister, Principal Fox from Spencer Elementary. And we have two students that graduated from Spencer. And today we're just going to add more learning about what it's like with the transitions. They'll get a chance to talk to their principal, the old principal, because as you know, I am the new principal. And then we're going to kind of wrap up with some things. So thank you so much for listening. But before we start, we're going to start with letting them introduce themselves. And so we're going to let Principal Fox go ahead and start with her introductions.
Hello, my name is Principal Fox, and I am the principal
The principal.
at Spencer Technology Academy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't put that technology. And you guys are home of what?
We are home of the Seahawks.
Home of the Seahawks.
Yes,
So these guys went from being Seahawks to Eagles.
yes.
Okay,
We're
we'll
still in
take
the
it.
Bird
We'll,
family.
we'll, we'll still take it. We'll take it. So, fellas, we're going to have you introduce yourselves. And you could just say, like, if you're a part of any organization, whether it's a sport club or whatever, here at Michelle Clark.
Uh, my name Jalen. I play football. I do wrestling, and that's it.
Jalen, you're like Prince. You only have one name? Or,
Oh,
yeah, you
no,
know.
my name Jalen Shaw.
Okay, I just was making sure because if you were one of those, like, extraordinary people that just have Prince, that's my name. So don't ask me my last name. I was going to be like, that's cool. All right, let's move over, Jay.
My name is Sean Davis. I play basketball and I box, and that's what we got.
That's fine. That's fine. So welcome. Let's start out with just a few questions. So let's start out with if you could just tell us, and this is for you guys to tell us, like what changes or what did you feel happened to you as a change, or what would you say is different about you, I guess, leaving elementary school to high school?
It felt different because we went from being at the top of the at the top of the school. Now we back at the bottom.
Wow. Okay. And how does that feel?
It's low key kind of uncomfortable because it's people older than us now. We was the oldest ones in the school.
Nice. Okay. What you got?
I say kind of like what he said,
Mhm.
but I say like it's a lot different from like elementary school. Like I say the things we did at elementary school it was easy. But
Mhm.
now that we in high school, like it's getting like the
Progress-
levels is going up.
Yeah.
Mm.
But would you say that was the same thing in elementary, like when you were in fourth grade, then fifth grade, it still was progressively getting higher or harder, I should say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
And so it just keeps doing that. And then when you master it, it's time to start something else and you become the bottom of the chain again.
Then gotta work the way back up.
Yeah. So when since you have Principal Fox here, what would be something that you would say to her like, you would be proud of me because in elementary at Spencer I did this, but now I'm doing this.
Uh, I wasn't really playing. I wasn't playing real sports in elementary.
Uh
I
huh.
just started playing real sports in high school.
Okay. What would you say to it?
Uh, Basically what he said, like I wasn't taking sports like serious
Mm-hmm.
in elementary school, but now that I'm in high school, like I gotta take I take it way more serious because like that could get me to somewhere like different.
Okay. So you kind of starting to see the light on that. So Principal Fox, when you look at these fellas, like I can only imagine. Remember, I used to be an elementary principal, but tell me, like when you look at these two fellas, what do you see?
I see a lot of potential. These are two great guys that came out of Spencer, and I'm extremely proud of them. They were, as they explained, they were leaders in eighth grade.
Okay.
You know, they were, hey, role models to the younger students in the building. And just sitting here looking at them and listening to them, they have matured so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And just to hear that they understand what we share with them is that this is elementary school, or this was elementary school that they were in last year.
Just so you
High
know,
school
we
looks
are in a
different.
high school and the bell just rang, so it probably ring again in 4 minutes. But go ahead.
Yeah, high school looks very different, and they see it. You know,
Okay.
they were, again, the leaders in the building, and now they are freshmen. So they recognize that they are 3 grades above them. But I want them to also understand that they're still leaders. They're still
Absolutely.
leaders in the freshman class. And so as long as they keep that in the forefront of their minds, they'll be successful. So I'm extremely proud of both of them.
Wow. Hey, so that's awesome, right? That's awesome. Because you guys were at Spencer how many years?
My whole
Really? So from pre-K?
His whole
Pre-K.
career.
You were there pre-K too?
I was there for 2 years.
Okay, so you got there your 6th grade, 7th and 8th? Okay. So when you look at, because we always want people to feel certain ways about us, right? And so now that you're looking at Principal Fox, like, what are you thinking? Like, because who would ever thought you guys are going to do this, right? You guys never assumed that you would have a podcast talking to your old principal? Yeah, so what are some of your thoughts with that?
I'll say, I guess nice. Like, I always see that, like, ever since I came to high school, like, I always, like, I want to be back at 8th grade, like, just to, like, go back and, like, remember all the things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what Principal Fox and some more teachers.
Okay. So you want to go back to 8th grade? I can make that happen. No, I can't
Just
make
to
that.
say hi,
I can't
right?
make that happen. You have to fail everything, and then I don't know how we would do that. Go ahead, Jay. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, like what he said, like it's a lot of stuff we can go back and redo.
Mm-hmm.
Like had the same teachers, had the same principal, and different stuff like that.
That's good because you actually probably are leading to my next question, which I didn't know you knew my next question, but it felt like you were. The question is, what would you tell Principal Fox that if you said I'm now that I'm a 9th grader, can I give you some advice for what you should do with the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders?
I say something that you should do, like with the 8th graders and the 7th. I say, like try to like do more things with them, like together, like field trips, like programs, and some more.
And what do you think that would do, or how would that impact?
I say, like it would. How I say it? Cause I say like last year, well when we was going there, like it wasn't even it wasn't all that good. Like 7th and 8th grade wasn't even really cool with each other. So I say, like bring them 2 grades together and see like see
What more
if
you can
there's
do?
yeah,
Okay.
like if there's any changes.
Okay.
Or make them part of like a family within themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you add anything, or you just agree with that, or
Like more of a bond between the 2 grades.
okay? And so you guys think only field trips would do that, or what else could?
No, it could be a
It
lot.
would be a lot more.
Like
Okay.
like I said, programs, like activities, you know. Like it's a lot.
So you guys just so we're part of Embark. And so Embark, we are school-wide. Oh, there's that bell that I told y'all would happen in 4 minutes. So that was been 4 minutes. But Embark is one of our partners. And so they work with our students from 9th all the way to 12th. And every month they go, the whole building leaves and goes on a trip. But they go to various places. Like there was a group went to the museum. There was another group that went and they all got facials. Another group went... where did you guys go?
I went to the museum.
You went to the museum. Where did you go?
Open Studio Project.
You went to where?
The Open Studio Project.
The Open Studios. Oh, so they also go to, there's an improv place where they learn how to do improv, like clowning and everything else, and speaking and all of those things. So the whole school leaves the building and go. And so they're by class, right? So each one of you guys are by like your 8th period class, and you went on those trips. Do you think something, because Embark has been talking to me about like what does that look like in elementary? How does that, is that something that you think would have made a difference if you guys are doing something like that, where like maybe the 7th and 8th graders left and went somewhere and did some activities or something like that? Or
Yeah, because it'll get a more of a friendship and family bond together.
okay, okay. So this is the hard part here. One thing out of the years that y'all were at Spencer, can't think long, just gotta go with whatever comes to the top of your mind, that is like the proudest thing you think of. What is it?
Luncheon.
Luncheon.
Me graduating.
You graduating. Tell me about both. Tell me about luncheon.
We went on the boat, had fun, and it was both 8th grade classes all in one trip.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the year, I got switched over from my main class to the other class.
Okay.
But then both of the classes combined, so I was with everybody at once.
And you just got a chance to see everybody just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you said graduation.
Yeah.
I think that's when you took that picture with me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, you see, I remember things. So tell me about graduation.
I was proud of myself because of the things I did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I graduated, but then also, like, they brought up, like, the things, me, Marcus, Jalen, and some more, like, in the V, and some other people. We helped. It was like an immigrant. He came to our school.
I remember that.
He ain't had nothing for real. So we all came together. I got him some clothes, some shoes, some money, and some more stuff.
I remember that, and let me tell you, as they talked about that, all I kept saying is, what is Principal Fox over there doing? I'm going to have to talk to her. And because it was really touching. I think people were like ready to cry. You want to talk about that?
Well, there, as Marshawn was saying, there were a group of students who came together. We had a student that came over from, I believe it was Ecuador, as an 8th grader, by himself, didn't know any English, and Marshawn and a few other students got together, and obviously they had conversations outside of school or maybe during lunch and recess. And the one day they came in and they had shoes, they had clothes, they had cash, they had a cell phone.
Wow.
And they presented with our security officer, Ms. Johnson, they presented this student with all these resources. And he was a friend for life after that.
Yeah.
He was so happy. He gave all of them hugs. They would walk him home at dismissal. They would get together outside and make sure he made it home. And the student was elated.
How did that make you feel though? Like,
oh my goodness.
Besides proud mama.
Yeah. It was an extremely proud moment. We wanted to make sure that we did recognize them at graduation for what they had done. Even before graduation, they were recognized. But we wanted everybody who were there as guests, in the audience to realize what these guys did, because what they did was, just great. It was a great accomplishment for them to just think about somebody else and how he may have felt, coming into a school where he was a minority. He couldn't understand a lick of English, and they used their cell phones to communicate with him. They used the translator so they could communicate with him back and forth. And I was extremely proud of them.
Yeah. So when I was at the graduation, heard that, I was like, wait a minute. And then of course, as they said the names, I was like, I got to go make sure these kids coming to Michele Clark. So I wasn't trying to look up y'all names, because I was like, because then that way when I don't have anything, they'll bring me something too. And I wanted to tell y'all then that I wore a size 9, because I was like, just in case they, just got some extra pair of shoes, y'all would help a principal out. But for some reason that didn't happen. We'll talk about that off air. But Principal Fox, tell me like some things that you remember, like I'm doing it to you. The one thing that pops in your head when you think about their 8th grade class, that you're like,
one thing I remember, I would say we had a lot of students within the eighth grade class that cared about each other.
Yeah.
You know, they worked together to
Mm-hmm.
support each other, especially, our male students.
Yeah.
There was just always a group of them, just really good students. And sometimes, the good students or the great students are overshadowed because of all
Absolutely.
of the other,
Absolutely.
issues and things that take place. But I just want to recognize that, all students are great. But we had, as we just talked about a minute ago, these students that came together to support that one student, that
Yeah.
was their idea.
Yeah.
They came up with that. And for them to just take those leadership skills that they're learning, that they already know that they have
Mm-hmm.
inside of them, to bring them out and do something good for somebody else, that is just, a proud moment. And I pray and I hope that, they continue to do those types of things,
Yeah.
realizing just how much of an impression they made on that student. And, Chicago is such a small place. We travel in, circles, as they say.
Absolutely.
And so they never know because, they're still young people. But when they become older, like us,
Oh
they
no,
may
like you.
encounter
I'm not that old.
they may encounter that student again.
Absolutely.
You never know. And he will be able to, forever remember
Yeah.
those times in eighth grade, when he
So
came to.
so let me throw this in on you, and I'm only saying this because I'm thinking about people who might be listening. For you to say that one of the things that pops in your head is that you had so many young men that were compassionate and ready to lead and wanted to take care of each other. There are principals and other people that listen to this saying, well, what's the secret sauce to that? Like, how do you make that happen? So I'm really looking at you saying, how did you make that happen?
I think the school staff that
Mm-hmm.
poured into them, as well as their families, that poured into them to want them to, do more, to actually think about who they were as individuals, and
Yeah.
what skills they have, the hidden talents that they have that, they may not even realize themselves, but at some point allowing them to have that voice, because we have to let our students speak up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Having that voice is important. Of course, it needs to be, respectful and
Yes.
all, but they need to be able to speak about how they feel and what they think. So I think allowing students the opportunity to speak and use their voice, I think that's something that's like a key ingredient,
Absolutely.
to students being able to showcase their leadership skills.
Okay, because I'm saying that this is Principal Fox giving you her secret sauce. If you guys need to find her, she's at Spencer Technology. Give me that address.
214 North Laverne Avenue.
214 North Laverne. And I say that because there are some people that probably need to call you and say, tell me that secret sauce again. So that way you could do it. So, fellas, I'm coming back to you real quick. Tell me something great about Michelle Clark. And you can say the principal if you like. I'll make sure he gets that message. But no, tell me something good about Michelle Clark or something that you're like, I know I made the right decision because. Maybe I'll give you that sentence stem.
The sports, the teachers, the students. It's really overall the school. Like, if I didn't accept this school, I would have been going to legal prep, and I couldn't go there because I wouldn't have been able to get no offers or nothing from over there.
Well, we don't know that, but because we can't say that part, but we will say that we're glad you're here, that the students and all that have really helped. So thank you for being here. To be honest with you, and I say this to everybody, we learn from you guys as you learn from us.
Absolutely.
Like, as you guys know, when you come here, I never told you I had all the answers because the questions keep changing every year. So if I had the answer, then I would be giving you the answers from last year, and the test changes. So go ahead, tell me the first thing pops in your head that's about Michelle Clark.
Like Jaden said, just the school in general. Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say when I was in 7th, like I already chose, like I already had a thought that I was gonna go there
Mm-hmm.
because of my sister, and she said like it's a good school. So in including you. Like,
Thank you, because
in
I
the
was like, did she
principal.
say anything about me? Egg.
She always
Brother got to do a
she
lot to
always
get a
talked
little
about you.
message out of here.
Yeah, she always talked about you, and some of the other teachers that was
Okay.
but yeah, just the school in general.
So thank you guys. So here's what we're going to do. And then I got to give Principal Fox the last words. I'm going to give you guys a chance to shout out 2 teachers from Spencer and 2 teachers from Michele Clark. Shout them out.
Miss Schleier and Miss Ward.
Say it again.
Miss Schleier and Miss Ward.
Okay. So Miss Schleier and Miss Ward. Was that right, Miss Ward?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Shout out to them from Spencer.
Yeah.
He didn't do his Michele Clark ones because you know the Michele Clark teachers to be like, oh, you didn't think about me?
Mr. Polo and Miss Four Friends.
Mr. Polo and Miss Four Friends. So you know you can't say those names now, right? All right. So go ahead. From Spencer.
Miss Squire and Miss Howard.
So y'all use one of the same. So that's fine. And go ahead with your Michele Clark.
Mr. V.
Mr. V, math.
And Miss Pogo.
And Miss Pogo. Okay. So I appreciate you guys doing this with us. But I want to wrap up with Principal Fox just giving like an overview of how she felt about everything, but also just how good it feels to be able to come to the school and see, because I know that at many high schools, when your kids leave and graduate, sometimes you don't see them until they come and bother you because there's no school that day for high school, or you may not hear from them or see, because sometimes we don't do a very good job as principals in high schools reaching back to say, hey, let me tell you how so-and-so is doing, whether good or bad, but let me just tell you. And so that's one of our endeavors, to make sure that we reach back to you to keep you updated on things that maybe we're seeing a trend in, or things that we can help with, and vice versa. So if you know things that we can do. So I'm giving you the floor to kind of open up and tell us more, either about Spencer, but wrap up with us, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody who's listening.
Okay. So I did state earlier that, excuse me, I'm extremely proud of both of these guys, as well as all of our other graduates from Spencer. I think this is an important pipeline between elementary school and high school. I think we need to do this because I've learned quite a bit from these 2 young men while they were sitting here. Just their reflection on how they felt at Spencer, how Spencer helped them, what they would do more of, or what they would need more of. And so that helps me as the principal of the building to not only go back and rethink some things,
absolutely,
based on what these 2 guys have said or shared, but even also asking them, because we have had a couple of graduates to come back and speak to our middle schoolers. So I would really be proud to have both of these young men to come back and instill some of what they have learned into what our 7th and 8th graders are embarking on as well, because their mindsets have shifted from elementary to high school, and I see the growth in both of them. I see the responsibility in both of them just understanding what may have taken place in elementary versus what's happening now.
Absolutely.
So I definitely see success in both these young men's future, and I'm so proud of them, and I want them to stay steadfast and keep up with the great work that they're doing. Hone in to those teachers as and see them as mentors and just levels of support to help continue with you as you move on through your sophomore year and your junior and senior years, so that whatever goals that you have, whatever aspirations you have for yourselves for the future, that you are definitely continuing to set yourselves up for success.
Man, I couldn't have said that better. I felt like if you can write that speech, I can say it on my next podcast.
I don't remember.
So thank you so much. Like, I don't know if you even really know how much this means to me that you came out. And so for those that are listening, you can find Principal Fox at Spencer Elementary 243.
214.
Man, dyslexic. 214 North Laverne.
Yes.
Spencer Technology. They do a lot.
Academy.
Oh, Academy.
Yes.
They do a lot there in the technology. And so because we are a STEM school, this actually works right into the things that go on at Spencer. So once again, this is Principal Anderson taking some time out to do a POV point of view from elementary to high school, saying thank you guys so much for being here and thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you.